Hi, everybody. I'm Alice K. Ruckelhaus from SufferingWell, and I'm sharing with you some videos about what it's like for me being on the autism spectrum. One of the things that I wanted to share that I know a lot of people with autism experience, and I think a lot of people who don't have autism experience this too, is being told that we're too sensitive. And I did another whole video about that a few years ago before I even knew I was autistic. And so I'll link that below. It's on my other channel. But I just wanted to say kind of a lot shorter here. We're not too sensitive. We are sensitive, yes, but we are not too sensitive. And I've come to tend to think, sorry, but I've come to think that those people who say that we're too sensitive are looking for an excuse for their insensitivity. It's like, when you say I'm too sensitive, does that mean that you think I should be like you? And the reason that you're saying I'm too sensitive is because you've done something that has hurt me. And maybe it's just hurt me because I'm autistic, but oftentimes it's just somebody who just says mean things. Or they're just, maybe they're a nice person, but sometimes they say things that are really mean and stuff. And so then, when I'm hurt by her being mean, they say that I'm too sensitive. And I know that is just like such a common experience. And so I wanted to just put that out there. Don't call somebody too sensitive, because they're not too sensitive. They are sensitive. They are sensitive to things that are hurtful. And I would suggest that instead you use that as a barometer of your behavior. But, think of it, when somebody is hurt by something that you say, instead of saying, oh, you're too sensitive, why don't you think about, wow, okay, maybe what I said wasn't really very nice. It wasn't edifying. It wasn't in love, and so on. Okay, which brings up another one. Sometimes people say, I'm just telling the truth. They're saying something mean and they say, I'm just telling the truth. And again, I don't think this is just an autistic experience, although I think it tends to confuse us and therefore end up hurting us more. But I think that a lot of people experience this. And the thing is, what I've started saying to people who say, well, they say something mean and they say, well, I'm just telling the truth. And I say, are you really telling the truth? Do you see anything good in me? And they said, well, yeah, of course. And I say, well, so you're not being truthful about telling me about the good that you see in me. You're just being truthful about the bad things that you see. So that's really not truthful, because what you're doing is, if I believe you, then I feel like I'm just a bad person. And especially for autistic people, because when we hear something like that, number one, we take you literally, and most of us. And secondly, either we just don't believe it, but more commonly we believe it, but we can't understand it. Why do you think I'm this way? Because I'm pretty sure I'm not, but you must be right. And so I'm going to believe you. And so then we really start believing that we are bad. And when you don't share the good about us, we just think that we're just bad and not good at all, because you didn't share anything good about us. And when you have enough people saying things like that to you, it really affects what you believe about yourself. It affects who you think you are. It affects who you think God is and what he thinks of you. And that's one of the reasons why many of us isolate ourselves. We can't be around people because people are mean and insensitive, and they don't understand us, and we don't understand them. We don't understand why they're saying these things. So yes, I'm crying. Sorry. So just think about that. Think about, are you really telling the truth? Because St. Paul says we're supposed to tell the truth in love, speak the truth in love. And when you just say bad things about somebody, that's not speaking in love, especially when you're saying it directly to them or when you're gossiping. So I just, want to ask you to think about those two things. Is this person really too sensitive, or are they just more sensitive than you? And can you try to see how what you're saying to them or doing to them might hurt them? If you know that they're autistic, or if there's a possibility of that, also consider that it's very hard for them to figure out why you're saying what you're saying. And then also to speak the truth in love. Okay, I love you all, and hopefully I'll be talking about some more positive things in a little while, but I kind of wanted to share some of the difficulties of autism first. And I want to reiterate the disclaimer that I think I've given in every video. If you've met one person on the spectrum, you've met one person on the spectrum. In other words, we're all different. Okay, but we have similarities. There's probably not any one thing that goes across the board with every single person, but there are people who are similar to us in different ways. And so I'm sharing this to help those who are on the spectrum to know there's somebody else who relates to you, and to share some a little bit later in another video, to share some things that have helped me. And also some of the things that I've been through, because sometimes it really helps to know that someone else has been through something similar. But then also I really want to share this with people who love or take care of people who are autistic, or who just know people, or even if you don't know anyone, this can help you to understand it more, and understand, not to understand autism more, but to understand some of the experience of that, so that maybe you'll see us a little bit differently. Maybe you'll know how to be careful not to judge us, but mainly so that you can pray for us, please. Even if you don't know anybody who is on the spectrum, you can pray for us. And we've posted a prayer. Actually, it's quite a few prayers put together that it's for people who are on the spectrum, but also for people who want to pray for people on the spectrum, and also for those who take care of us, because that's a really, really hard job, especially if you're taking care of someone who is really, who has really, really strong autism. Right. I love you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.